It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Whiskey and Wisdom After Dark. I'm sitting here, your coach, right here with my guy, the Jaded Cowboy, Russell. We're just sitting here in our little cave in Bastrop. With us today is Tristan Dunn from the Tristan Dunn Show in Carolina, and none only than the love of Bastrop, J Love. How we doing today, fellas?
What up?
We are good, boys.
What do we drink? Well, I'll start. I'm drinking a little Black Label, same old. This is just a go-to for me. I did buy some. Us Mexicans call it Buchanan's, but I got me some of that. That's a great holiday drink for me. Russ, what are you on?
I've been on Miller Lite, and full disclosure, I was off work today, so I've been drinking these Miller Lite since about 2:30. So this ought to be interesting, boys. I'm gonna be like Tristan tonight.
Tristan, what's that heavy stuff you got going on there?
I'm drinking
Water.
No, I'm drinking a Coke and I'm chasing it with Jim Beam.
There you go.
Ooh, there you go. A little rot gut. I like it. J Love,
Nice.
what are you putting tahini in?
You know what? That's funny that you say that. I got it out of my truck because I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. So my 13-year-old was in here helping me hook some of this shit up. It's sad when you have to have a 13-year-old come in here and show you what goes where in regards to electronics. I'm so fucking old. But I said, hey, and y'all heard. I said, hey, pour me some of that Howler Head. So he poured me some Howler Head and said, make sure it's a 3-second pour. And then I can hear him going, 2, 3. So mad props to my 13-year-old.
Oh yeah.
I like it. Well, guys, it's been interesting. I do want to start off with big news in the sports world. I wish I would have got to know him. I know a good friend of mine that I coached with me in Giddings for a while. That was his mentor. He started out as a GA with him at Texas Tech and taught him a lot. Loved him, great guy. But Mike Leach passed away yesterday.
Yeah.
Day
Yes,
and a
sir.
half ago,
Yesterday.
night before. Coach at everybody remembers the Texas, he's at Texas Tech. They forget he was at Oklahoma. They forget he was at Florida before that, but they remember him from Texas Tech. And then, here at Mississippi State is where he ended his career. Texas Tech, I think y'all remember the fiasco with the Craig James's boy. And he put him in it's the old saying, Russ, I'm going to take you to the woodshed.
Yeah.
He literally did. Take him to the woodshed and stuck him in there, and that's eventually how he got fired. But he was one of the innovators, offensive innovators in football.
The old air raid.
Yeah, the air raid offense. Of course, he worked also. He was in Kentucky with the air raid innovator. Forget his name, but anyway, he was in Kentucky where he learned it, and he looked. So there's a couple of stories I want to tell. So number one, he was the one that started the little piece of paper. If you see him on the sidelines, he has a little piece of paper. He has that, and a couple of coaches learned from him, and they have the same thing. And they finally asked him, what is it? He said, well, we only have a set amount of plays, but if you fold a piece of paper in 4. You have the front, the back, and then the 2 middle. Well, you only have 4 downs. First, second, third, and fourth.
Right.
So, it's very simple. And basically that's how his system worked. But he was very blunt. He was very funny. They call him the pirate. He had stories. He's not only an innovator in football, but one of the smartest human beings around, had a law degree. We can go, everybody knows about him.
Yeah.
But I think the funniest was when he was at Oklahoma, Red River Rivalry.
Oh, the play sheet.
Yeah. So he designed a fake play sheet because back then he ran a 12 plays in a row. Like that's how he started. The first drive.
Start of the
Yeah,
game.
he would script it, right? So he spent the night before scripting 12 fake plays. Go to one side, go to the other, run, pass, and all this. And so he gave it to one of his players, and he was faking like he was putting it in his belt, and he let it go. He dropped it, and he was one of the last ones right before the game. And one of the GAs from Texas took it, and they thought, well, hell, this is a real deal. Took it up there to the defensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator was calling it for those plays.
Yep.
Lo and behold, Oklahoma went up 17-0. I mean, it was just, I mean, people were wide open everywhere. It was great, but that was Mike Leach,
Yeah,
and
he was. It's sad when you start seeing these older coaches, and it won't be long.
hell, he was only 61, I think.
I know, but
Yeah, he was 61.
That old school mentality. I mean, eventually we're gonna start losing some of these guys, and we already have lost a lot of these old school coaches guy. But he did not give a fuck. He just said what he wanted to say.
No.
He joked. They asked him. I was watching some stuff on him today, as a matter of fact. They asked him about the mask, and he just goes on this. He wasn't being disrespectful, but he was like, "Yeah, I just can't figure this mask out. Should I keep it on my nose? Should I keep it under my nose? What do I do when I have a booger?" I mean, he was just.
I remember that one.
He was. He made light of a situation, and he was one of my favorite personalities in sports.
What about the little, he came up, he said, well, these guys are just coasting through. All they're thinking about is their little fat girlfriends. And I mean, he said that he'd say stuff like that in the press conference, and that was really.
What I remember most about him is the game against Texas, where Michael Crabtree caught that pass.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just decimated that sideline. And me being a Jayhawk, it was just funny to see. I mean, we suck at football. So even, back then, it was just so funny to see that. And I was at a house party with a fuck ton of Longhorn fans, and I'm the only one there. I know, me too. And I'm sitting there and I'm just fucking laughing, and people were just so pissed off. And I'm like, dude, it's a fucking game. I said,
If I remember correctly, I know that game is kind of like he caught the ball and then he spun around and went into the end zone. I think it knocked him out of the BCS, and the only shot they had during the BCS era that they were really highly ranked, and it knocked him out. But
yes, sir. I believe so. I believe you're correct.
He was a good one. He's going to be missed, and I know my buddies really broke up about it. He said he was one of those minds that people that didn't know him weren't sure about him, but people that did, just like Lane Kiffin. I mean, Lane Kiffin broke up in his press conference. I mean, he was that type of coach. So anyway, Coach Lee, the Pirate, I'm gonna miss you, brother.
Yeah.
I wish I would have met him. I went to a bunch of coaches conventions. Knew he was there, but I never did take the time, and I regret it.
What a character.
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Speaking of coaches, so I know you coach, and me and you talked about this yesterday. What do y'all think about this Chris Beard situation at UT? What do y'all think about that? How do you think this is going to play out?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say one thing. I think Hugh Freeze is at Auburn going, hold my beer. I think he's going to top it. But, dude, I'm talking to a couple of guys. They were expecting something. I mean,
I've heard several different stories and accounts of what happened. And then today I read an article. Actually, when I first woke up this morning, I usually scroll through the news and sports. And based on the account and the phone call with the authorities, I think he might be fucked. I think he's done.
Well, there's a clause in his that if anything happens outside, because something happened at Tech that they had to get rid of him. But yeah, he's done, brother. He's done. I mean,
I talked to a couple of my buddies, local law enforcement that were in the know with that. I texted them and I'm like, dude, what the fuck y'all doing to Coach Beard? And one of them is so against sports, not in the sense of just, oh my God, this is just the biggest bunch of bullshit. He just doesn't watch sports unless it's mixed martial arts or anything of that nature. So he says, who the fuck are you talking about? And I said, dude. And then so I asked him again. He says, I don't know the whole story, but I think he's pretty much fucked. And It's funny. My boss and I were talking about it today, actually, before we left for the day, and we were both in agreement that nothing good happens after midnight.
Mm-mm.
You know, when a call comes in at 4 a.m., something ain't right. You know, there's speculation of he caught him or caught her banging some other dude, and went off on a tangent, and then there was talks about her going off on him before all this shit happened, and she was slapping and hitting him, and he was trying to refrain himself, but something got the best of him, and then he decided to fall off and knock her ass out. So, but I
Well,
think there's his truth, there's her truth, and then there's the truth.
correct.
So
From what I was reading this morning, she was going to drop charges on him, and basically, but the 911 call, they have it, and they released the transcription of the 911 call, and basically, she went into detail of what he did. He grabbed her, threw her across the bed, choked her, and she's telling dispatch, you don't come back from that. And to your point, J Love, there's obviously, I mean, we've all been with women, and no offense, all, in my opinion, all women are a little crazy. It's just a level of crazy, but
right,
she
it's what
probably,
level of crazy you want to ride.
correct,
with.
what you can
Yeah.
deal with. But and y'all may have varying opinions on that, but I guarantee you there's a lot more to that story. She probably put her hands on him. He probably sitting there going, I can't do this. I'm the head coach of Texas. And she kept on and kept on. And then,
Well, and then with her wanting to immediately drop the charges, I mean, if there is the truth of the matter that she was fucking somebody else, her all of a sudden wanting to drop charges, yeah, because she doesn't want that shit out there.
correct.
And so, because I mean, she's due to get paid herself.
Oh, yeah.
in some form or fashion. So
She's the Beyonce. So the gravy train.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do you think Chris Beard made a year at Texas?
$5 million a year. He was
$5 million a
guaranteed
year. So
$5
you're the
million
Beyonce. You're,
plus incentives.
Right.
Incentives.
Well, he's not
He
going to
had
get
like
that
a-
anymore.
Mm-mm. He's
No,
done.
he had like a $5,000 a month endorsement with Nike, and then there's some other things like some supplement type endorsements. But either way, man, I don't know.
I hope he saved his money, because he's going to be hanging out on the street with Delonte West pretty soon if he didn't.
And we can get that motherfucker.
Hey,
on the
you
show
know what?
pretty Easy.
This is a good segue. I like this. Okay, we're talking about this coach who was getting $5 million a year. Okay, we can talk about that coach. We can talk about a player. We can talk about a person, a rich person, anybody. I had a short 2-minute conversation because we talked about this with two guys a couple of days ago, and this dude brought up a great point. He goes, people like that can't help it. They self-sabotage themselves. It's like they can't handle the success. It's like a gambling addict. And I think Pacino said it best in Two for the Money. He said, you guys don't get the rush when you're raking the chips in. It's when they're taking the chips away. And he brought up a point about his brother played a sport in high school. He was all state and top 10 in the nation or something like that, and then went to college and won all this stuff, and he was in the pros. But once he got to the pros, he could never finish. He'd be in first for 3 rounds, and then he'd go to the hotel and he'd be just waxed out of his mind. He'd be late to the first tee and he'd just collapse in the final round. He just couldn't do it. It's a self-sabotage type of thing. And that's why I'm asking you guys. I mean, have you ever felt like that? Have you ever seen anybody? Because I have. I mean, I did it. I did it at the start of this marriage with my new wife, because she's amazing. I couldn't believe that. And it's like, is this true? I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Because this guy's a winner. He's a winner. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, you think it's something in his head?
Well, it's kind of like when you were talking, it was reminding me of Tin Cup.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you're winning, you're
exactly.
winning,
That
you're winning.
self-sabotage thing.
Self sabotage. I mean, you look at a guy like Antonio Brown. It's kind of the similar. You know, you're on top of your game, and you just can't
Yeah,
stop
but
fucking
somehow
up.
he's got pictures of Giselle, supposedly.
Hmm.
I mean, if that is the case, I'd like to know how he got a hold of said pictures if he wasn't fucking
He was
Giselle.
living with Tom Brady in New England for like a month.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
their
maybe,
house.
Also in Tampa.
maybe Tom Brady was the cuckold in that.
Maybe.
You know,
You never know what these people are into.
you know, I've known folks that a couple local folks that I mean back in the day were in, since we're talking golf here, phenomenal fucking golfers. Phenomenal. I mean, everything just laid out in front of them for the future. I mean, the PGA was basically at their beck and call, but partying and pussy got in the way, and you know, among other things, maybe. And it's crazy because I would love to have that kind of talent. I mean, I've always I've always been a soccer player. I mean, I've played other sports for years, but I've always been drawn to soccer. Been playing since I was 5. I had a chance to go pro when I was early 20s. Early 20s. It was professional indoors, so there's not a lot of money in that. But I love playing soccer, so I was all about it. Went to the tryouts, did my thing, made the cut, contract in front of me, and the guy said, "We'll give you the weekend to think of it." And the fucked up thing about the whole thing is, these were guys I grew up watching. These are guys I grew up idolizing. Sorry. And so to take that into consideration, and I'm driving back to my mom's house in Kansas, and and I said, I'm there, and my wife is there, and I said, "Oh my God, I've got great news."
Let me try.
And what's up, bro?
Oh shit!
I've got great news. And she goes, "So do I." And I said, "Okay, you first." And then she says, "I'm pregnant." And I said, "Okay." And she goes, "What's your news?" I said, "Doesn't matter." So I chose to be a father instead of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made the right choice.
And I beat the fuck out of my 25-year-old every chance I get, even when I see him still. So,
That's funny. I get that. So hold on one second, fellas. Yeah, so it's that self sabotage. I know. Me, J Love, me and you know a couple guys here that have done it, and kind of like that. I mean, and like I'm the same way. So I get it. I understand. I mean, it's hard to get there, and then because then sometimes you think, well, you don't deserve it.
Right.
And it's a tough place to be. The guys that can handle it, I mean, I give them huge props. Those guys that can handle something
Or
like that.
just the pressure is just too much. I mean,
right.
one example, and y'all may disagree with this, but I mean, look at Tiger Woods. I mean, literally, and maybe it wasn't self-sabotage with him, but man, dude's at the top of his game, but he keeps getting.
You know what? I
injured.
don't think it was a sabotage with him. I think it was his circle. I think. I mean, that's Black Nicholas. That's what I've always called him. That's Black Nicholas. I mean, he reinvented the game.
They had to change the game for him.
Just like fucking. I mean, Jack Nicklaus back in the day. First there was, Ben Hogan. Then, well, let's go back. First there was Harvey Pinnock. Then you go to Ben Hogan, and then you had guys like Jack Nicklaus coming on the scene along with Arnold Palmer, and it was just crazy because they're like, no, let's I'm going to do it this way, and then they at that time they changed the game, and here comes along Black Nicholas years later, and he was phenomenal. I was never a Tiger Woods fan. I was always more for like the Seve Ballesteros and your Greg Norman, the Shark,
Right.
and stuff like that. I always liked those guys. Tiger never really appealed to me. But I mean, I'm going to give the dude props. I mean, he's a fucking badass. But I think
Oh.
sometimes you have to keep your circle small.
Yeah.
So
Well, to your point, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm a person that's always admired like greatness. So for me, watching somebody like Tiger, I remember watching Sports Center in the early 2000s, and it'd be Thursday morning watching Sports Center. And they'd be like, "Okay, are you taking Tiger? Or are you taking the field?" And these people would debate it like they do now, and I was always like, give me Tiger, because he was so dominant during that era. And then to watch him and watch some of the shots that he would pull off.
right.
A lot of the reasons why that I'm such a huge fan of Michael Jordan, Tristan, you don't understand this. You never saw him play, but
Jeez, there's the jab.
The absolute mentality of, I'm going to crush you. I'm going to win. And that's great. Greatness is not about physical ability. It's about, obviously you have to have some to be in that position, but the mentality of those golfers, when they would go in on Sunday and Tiger was right there, they were done. When you played Michael Jordan in the playoffs, you were done because he just mentally, he was just better. I'm a fan of I love greatness.
Well, and I mean, to your point, I mean, I do too, but I think that with what's his name, Black Nicholas, I think with him the thing, I remember seeing something, and I'd have to dig it up, but I remember seeing something with Jack Nicklaus years ago, and they had asked him, and it was when Tiger was on the rise and he was the hottest thing, and they asked Jack Nicklaus, so what do you think of Tiger Woods? And then he's like, man, he's a hell of a player. He's changing the game, but he needs to be careful because he goes, along with all this will come temptation and stuff like that. And lo and behold, years later, it happened. And again, I don't blame him for that. I really think it had to do with his circle.
Sure.
I'm not saying that it definitely takes two to tango. I mean, he might have been fucking something up, but she was probably batshit fucking crazy. I mean, she was Swedish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what she was? Yeah.
Elin Nordegren.
I almost said the R word. She's fucking she's a fucking spastic mongoloid. I'm just saying, she's not. Again, what level of crazy do you want? So.
Dude, you want to talk about crazy? Did y'all see? And this is in the sports section too, but it just reminded me because you said almost said the R word. Did you see RG3's RG3? Huh?
Yes.
What was
Yeah, he said
Coons?
No. He said Jigga.
Jigaboos.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Jigaboos.
Yes, and
When
he
he
kept
met
rolling
Bugaboo.
like nothing happened, and everybody's like,
And Steve Young's looking at him like,
What's
what the
funny-
fuck
what's
did you
fu-
just say?
What's funny is he went on Twitter and said, "I meant to say bugaboos, but
You know what? And when because I've met RG3 a few times. Obviously, he's I'm from Waco. He's a Baylor guy. I've met him several times. I don't. Thank you. And no, I'm not a Branch Davidian. But man, I'm gonna tell you, RG3, one of the nicest dudes on the planet. I mean, that guy, he's super, super cool.
he's
guy.
I think he's one of the best sportscasters out there right now. He's good.
I think so too, and I think he had a Joe Biden moment. I think he was just like, "We're gonna be shipping this," and he just kind of mumbled his words. And I think he meant to say "bugaboo."
Weekend at
That
Bernie's.
was a
He had
Freudian
a-
sleep.
Yeah,
Freudian
and
slip.
I saw some shit today. They're like, "Oh, fire!" I'm like, "You can't fire him for that. What are you gonna? You gonna fire Dr. Dre for saying the N word? No, stop. Just stop."
That was
But yes, I did see it. That was kind of a what the fuck moment, wasn't it?
that was kind of a what the fuck moment. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Let me see. Oh,
Oh shit!
you know what time it is? It's that time again.
It's that time.
Good
We're gonna
God
send it to
almighty.
Carolina.
All right, guys, we're gonna mix up today's FMK. We're not gonna do an FMK. We are actually
What?
Listen, we're gonna do a start, bench, and cut.
Okay.
We're gonna do
Start.
Does this involve chicks?
No. It's athlete edition. Athlete edition.
Then I'm out.
Start,
No,
bench,
you're,
and
no,
cut.
you're, no, you're not. You'll know the players. You'll know the players. I'm not gonna just say fucking Will Witherspoon or some bullshit.
As long as you stay off soccer. I'm
So it's
fine.
start,
Sorry,
cut,
J-Lo.
start, cut, play.
So I want to do a hard one to start. So we're gonna go to
What was it? Start, bench, and what?
cut.
Okay.
Start, bench, and cut.
Start one, bench one, cut one. We're gonna do tight ends.
I love them.
Okay.
Travis Kelsey, George Kittle, and Rob Gronkowski.
Oh
Start
man.
one.
Oh, can I go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, y'all already know who I'm starting.
Yeah.
I
fucking-
agree. I already agree with you. I already know who you're gonna-
Travis Kelsey. Who's the others? Kittle and Gronk.
Yeah.
I'll bench Gronk because he looks like a human version of Lurch from the Adams Family. It just freaks me out. And Kittle, I just will cut because he just looks like a fucking Branch Davidian pedophile.
Easy.
Are we going to be on the Davidian train today?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Sorry, it just
We'll-
that was the
we'll
first
bring
thing
it
that
up.
popped in my head.
We'll bring it up.
Whatever you want.
I was actually a GA when that happened. That was my first year coaching. That's how old I
can't
am,
say
so
the
shut
R
up.
word, so you went there.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Go ahead. You go. You go.
So I'm kind of along the same line. Or I'm exactly on the same lines as J Love. I'm going to start Travis Kelsey. I think he's actually, when he's done, he's going to be the GOAT of tight ends.
Bingo.
I'm going to bench Gronk because if Kelsey gets hurt, he's the second best because right now he's the GOAT, ahead of Tony Gonzalez and ahead of Antonio Gates. And I'm going to bench Kittle, and not because I think Kittle could be
So you're going to cut Gronk.
No, I'm going to
You
bench
can
Gronk.
bench too.
You can't. You got to play. You got to start, bench, and cut. Who are you going to cut?
I think he meant he was going to cut Kittle.
I'm going to cut Kittle.
Okay.
And here's why I'm going to cut Kittle, because I think he's every bit as talented as those other two, but he's so injury prone. You just got to cut it. He can't stay on the field.
Can I go? Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going. I think it's pretty unanimous unless Z says something different for the start. I'm starting Travis Kelsey. He's Russell said it when it's said and done, he'll be the greatest tight end to ever do it. I already think he's almost there.
Agreed.
But
And not just because I'm a Chiefs fan, but
No, he's
a
that
fucking
good.
he's a fucking animal. I'm gonna bench Kittle. And I'm cutting Gronk because he's the most overrated tight end in NFL history.
see that I should have changed my answer simply because of that. That makes sense.
I don't know about
I
the
would
most
agree.
overrated.
He is one of the.
I don't
most
mind
overrated-
his picks. I don't mind his picks. But
Right,
for him to say he's
he's-
overrated is just like saying LeBron's the GOAT over Jordan. I mean, I don't know. All right, I'm going to go.
It's not
we
that
know
bad,
that's
but that
not
was
possible.
pretty bad.
Gronk is the most overrated tight end. In
Hey,
NFL
Gronk was
history.
on Family Guy, bro.
Hot take.
Right?
Hot take.
All right, here I go. I'm going to cut all of them because I'm going to have 5 wides. I don't need a tight end. I'm going to throw it. I'm just kidding. If I was an offensive coordinator, I would have probably 6 tight ends on my team
Yeah.
because I'd be double tight the whole way.
absolutely.
But no, you're right. This is pretty unanimous. Kelsey, Gronk, and I'm cutting Kittle. Yeah, I mean, Kelsey's just love watching him. He's that guy, and he can block. Like, I mean, come on. So yeah, but
I just don't want to shit on George Kittle, because if that guy could stay on the field, we'd have a totally different
Gronk is
conversation.
the same. Okay, we can have the same conversation about Gronk. He could.
He was always injury prone too.
That's
He was playing
true,
through-
but
He was playing through more injuries than I think Kittle did.
yes, but he was on the field. He wasn't off.
we do agree. Just because we're cutting Kittle doesn't mean he sucks.
No,
He's. I
No,
mean,
yeah, he
No,
sucks.
that's why I made it hard.
yeah, no, it is
That's what
because
she said.
talent wise and physical and what he does, and he just doesn't have the durability. And what you're saying about Gronk is accurate, but he played through those injuries.
Not
That's
all
why he
of them.
retired,
Not
and he
all
came
of them.
back because he was beat up.
You take Gronk away from Brady, and he's an below average tight end at best.
I would probably agree with you there, but then I'm probably
You've
the only
never
one on this.
seen Gronk without Brady, which you can't make the argument because
I can't argue with that. Honestly, I disagree with it, but I can't argue with you because you're 100% factual. He's never played with anybody, but
And I
Brady.
can't. I mean, I'm making a hypothetical statement, but in my opinion, I think you take Gronk away from Brady, and he's average at best.
He's mediocre at best.
Gronk has admitted that there's been times in the huddle where he didn't know the fucking play, and Brady told him where to run.
Because he was an absolute freak athlete.
Sure, and that's fine. But like I said, take him away from Brady, and he's mediocre.
But really, these top tight ends, these best tight ends, especially now, and I think y'all agree. Right now, these guys are animals compared to, especially when I was playing.
Yeah.
These guys are animals. But
we're not talking about Kellen Winslow.
No, these tight ends are freaking
sorry.
athlete. I mean, athlete upon that. They're starting to throw screens to tight ends and they're running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these athletes are just freaks of nature.
Me and Coach was actually having this conversation yesterday. We were talking football while we were watching the Monday night game. And we were, of course, I'm a Cowboy fan, but you look at Dallas and what they've been doing. They've got Hendershot, they've got Ferguson, they've got Dalton Schultz, and they have another guy that used to be their starter a couple of years ago. When Jason Witten retired, and they're running literally plays with 4 fucking tight ends because they're so athletic, and it's smart.
You all almost lost to a 1-11 team.
We just had that conversation off. I'm not. Hey, you have to realize something though. That's their Super Bowl, bro. The Texans, when they come, Dallas gets everybody's best shot, and that's the biggest game of the year for the Texans. And I'm not saying we shouldn't have blew them out because we should have, but they came ready to play. But you got to give a win's a win in the NFL. So
sadly, true.
There's been a lot of stuff. I'm gonna just change gears real quick. And J Love, I'm gonna give you the invitation whenever you want.
Sure.
When we go and do our sports podcast, you want to come on and talk some sports, buddy, let me know and come on. I mean, we're going to talk sports tomorrow, by the way. And if you ever want to come on and just, just listen in or whatever, man, we'd love to have you. But
Thank you.
Right now, I want to get into some politics and stuff. Something you can really chew up and spit out, buddy.
When can we do a what the fuck moment? Because I actually have one.
Let's do it.
Do it now.
Let's go. Come on. Give me a what the fuck moment. Here we go.
So last night, I went to sleep. Everything was fine. This is gonna be a pretty quick one, but it's still it made me say what the fuck. I woke up at like 2-3 a.m. this morning. My big right toe was hurting so fucking bad that it woke me up.
Gout.
That's gout.
And it literally made me say what the fuck, because like
where did it hurt on your
toe? Was it on top of your big toe,
or was it on the ball of your toe?
It was on the left side of my big toe.
Sounds like gout.
That's where it is.
I don't even know what that is.
Towards
You're
your
gonna learn.
Toe? Towards your index toe?
No, like
on the outside. That's gout. That's that fluid that builds up in the joint.
Ain't no joke.
That's what Brenda said.
Was it hot?
I don't know. My whole fucking toe was just hurting. I didn't know what to do.
Did it hurt to the touch?
Yes.
Like your sheet touching your toe? Yeah, you need to go to the doctor and you need to get your diet checked because
that ain't gout, dude. You just need to go ahead and amputate that motherfucker right now. We'll do it on the air. We'll fucking run that.
If you ain't ever had gout, and I don't know if you guys have, I have.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
All real men have gout.
Oh god, it's awful.
What is it? I don't know what it is.
It's like a protein or some type of acidic
It's
build.
something about the body doesn't produce enough iodine or
Right.
something to that nature, and it has to do with proper blood flow and all that. And
Well,
like Russ said, go get your shit checked.
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
because they'll
I'm gonna
give you a
give-
diet like me. They put me on a fiber diet, and I changed it up, and I haven't had it in a couple of years. But I used to get it on the top of my foot, and I couldn't walk for weeks. And it's like there's something like an acid something. But yeah, when your big toe starts hurting, like around the joint and on the outside of your toe, it's gout. You need to go get it checked out.
It's by the toenail though. It's not like the joint.
That's still.
There's still a joint there.
Oh,
All right, thanks, Sandy. I appreciate you. All right, Sandy, one of our techs just gave me the definition. I didn't like that shit. It's a type of arthritis that causes inflammation of joints due to excess uric acid,
That's
usually
Wait, are we-
in the
Are
big
we
toe.
live?
Huh?
Are we live?
Yeah,
yeah.
Are we live?
we're live.
Oh no, we're not that kind of live, but we're
Oh.
recording.
Yeah.
Well, I know,
Um,
but when he got a text, so I was like, wondering how the hell is he fucking able to chime in?
Yeah, I've got interns. Usually in the big toe. It even
Motherfucker.
says that. Usually in the big toe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to go get it checked
Go to
out.
the doctor. You got
I'm gonna take a picture and send it to you, bro.
you got something
I don't-
going on with your kidneys too. So it's
Yeah.
not, no
My
joke.
kidney. Huh?
Just telling you, you're talking to a bunch of old dudes. So
No.
Well, see,
the right. So like on my which side is your appendix on the left?
What do I look like, a doctor?
I think it
on
is
the right side.
Shut the fuck up.
On the right
Z.
side.
So I think my kidney was hurting the other day, and my friend told me to drink
Well-
cranberry juice to
Yes.
help it.
Yes.
So I did.
Cranberry juice and water.
And vodka. Oh, well, sorry, wrong.
The cranberry
Hey.
juice was fucking nasty.
eat cherries and cherry juice. That helps too.
That too. Almonds help.
And quit sucking that
I-
dirt.
I need to go get a doctor. I don't have one.
Or
That's
just
'cause-
go
that's
go
'cause
to
you're
go to a
fucking
children's
on
clinic.
Obamacare.
Fuck you, G. Will you take me?
I'll take you. Come on, I'll take you and Mijo. I'll kick my wife's kids out and bring you.
Okay, that was my what the fuck moment.
That was your what the
It-
fuck?
That-
Turned into a fucking medical problem.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
because
shit.
it is actually kind of a serious thing. You need to go get it checked out. No bullshit. Like there's something going on in your body.
I mean, if it's bad enough, they'll give you medication. I used to work for a guy.
I just
he
sent
had
you a
it.
text of mine. If you're looking at it, and you can see how swollen it was. I had to sit with my foot in an ice chest, and that's the only time I would get relief for days.
That happened to me with freaking the first damn not hernia. What do you call it? The thing come out your ass?
Hemorrhoid.
Hemorrhoid. Yeah, my first hemorrhoid when I was in college, bro. First hemorrhoid I had. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Are you sure it wasn't an allergic reaction from a butt plug?
I didn't get it. I didn't get into butt. I didn't. No. Calm down. I didn't get into butt play till like a year or two ago. So no, it wasn't about that. But dude, I'm telling you, I was in an apartment with 3 other ball players, and it hurt so bad.
Keyword ball.
I had to get a piece of ice and rub it on there. And that thing would melt, and I put a fan there and I spread my legs, and it freaking hurt so bad. And then about 10 or 12 years later, I had another one. But that one, I forget what they call it. He said the doctor said it was the size of a marble. They just slit that some bitch, and I felt the blood going all the way down my leg. How did I get into that?
Were you in Mexico when they just slit that motherfucker?
No
Hey,
shit.
that's racism. I like the racism.
I mean, that sounded like
No,
some backyard shit. Like your homeboy was like, "I'm a doctor. Let me split."
Oh,
that
I got a
shit."
Uh,
what the fuck moment. Speaking of that,
This
So-
you still on hemorrhoids?
no,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to change it. So,
If you do get hemorrhoids out there, go to the
and
doctor.
this may apply to some of our people that listen locally. So, when
Wow.
me and
Y'all
this,
quit messing around.
quit messing around. When me and this guy first started hanging out a few years ago, one of the first times I came over to this house, we were having a get together, and I think A&M had played that night. We watched on the back porch, and we're all drinking, hanging out, and there's a guy here locally, and we're all drinking, and the
Oh.
guy starts chiming in, and they're
I
like,
know what you're talking about.
they're betting. He's like, I'm gonna pierce my nipple. I'm gonna pierce my nipple. And
If
I'm
I
like,
have this picture, it will be epic.
and I'm like, no, you're not. Long story short, this guy with a safety pin and a beer, I watched him get his nipple pierced, and it was literally, I'm just sitting there going, how am I almost 40 years old at a party watching this shit go on? What the fuck was that?
Come to Coach's house, bud. You want to have some fun?
Mm.
Yes.
Gonna see some shit? Dude, I am looking. If I have J-Love, you know this cat too, man.
Honey butter chicken biscuit.
But you know the
Well,
the funny part about that is the guy. My wife got a bottle of rubbing alcohol. His brother did it. You know the Ratcliffe brothers, don't you?
Mm.
Anyway, the guy poured alcohol on it, and then he stuck it in his mouth
Stuck it in
to
his
clean
mouth.
it, and he's dipping, and he was drinking beer.
Oh my god!
So he thought he was like sterilizing it. He stuck it in his mouth and stuck it in the guy's
Oh
nipple.
my god! I could not believe what I was watching. I'm like, where am I at? What the fuck is this?
Wow, that's
Just
fucked
crazy.
up.
Hey, Donnie,
Hey,
how are
Donnie.
you, man?
Good, buddy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Mhm,
can hear you.
Oh, he's gone.
He gone.
And he died.
He
Where
looked
the hell
like
did
he
he
was
go?
in a hotel room.
Anyways,
He is in a hotel room. He's doing
You know
some.
the fucked up thing is before the whole body piercing became a thing, I pierced my nipples, I pierced my belly button. Fucking this was a bone age ago before everyone was fucking doing it. And back to the soccer thing, when we would warm up, I would always warm up shirtless. Go fucking figure. And I was a striker, and so I'm making plays and fucking just schooling dudes left and right. And we had a match one night, and I go to make a break, pass from the midfield, comes into the box, and I'm going in, and the dude knew, so he goes to grab at my jersey because I already had him beat. And as he's grabbing, he knew, and he grabbed right at my nipple and just went wow,
Oh,
and just yanked that fucker, and I fell out right in the box. I got a PK off of it, but I'm sitting there bleeding, fucking bleeding everywhere, looking for my nipple in my fucking jersey.
It doesn't help.
I'm like, oh my god, and I'm screaming like a bitch.
well, that's a what the
Screaming like
fuck
a
moment
fucking
for you
bitch.
right there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I was
we are joined in by Donnie Betts. Finally, you still in Florida?
I am. Surprised my
Florida.
daughter today with a surprise visit. She wasn't ready for it. She had a birthday Friday, and she closed on her first triplex.
Very
she's
nice,
closing on
very
it,
nice, very
so-
nice.
Building that generational wealth. So yeah, how are you guys doing?
Good. I mean, we're all right. We're all right. Hey, Donnie, real
Good,
quick. What was it, Tristan? Bench, cut, bench,
Start.
play.
Start, bench, and cut.
all right,
Start.
Donnie, you have to start one, you have to bench one, and you have to cut one. Travis Kelsey, Rob Gronkowski, and George Kittle.
Oh God, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Kittle's getting cut. It's hard to argue with Kelsey's numbers overall, but I've got to bench him because in prime time, if I want somebody to make the play, Gronk's got the track record for making the biggest plays at the biggest times. I mean, Kelsey is a better receiver. Don't get me wrong. But-
Tristan, tell him what you told us about Gronk.
Primetime Gronk does not miss.
Before you jump in and interject, Donnie, let me get my whole thought out.
Sure, go ahead, buddy.
You can say whatever you want afterwards.
Oh, he will.
Gronk is the most overrated tight end in NFL history, and if you take, which this is a hypothetical because you can't say it definitively, but you take Gronk away from Brady, he is maybe an average tight end at best.
I was letting you finish. That's all you got?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you can go now.
he's like, can I finish? Can I finish?
You just
Okay,
shot
finish.
me with a BB gun. What's that supposed to do, buddy? Like, here's the thing about Gronk. Like, when it was time to make a play, he made the play. When LeBron, it's time to make a play in the big game.
Why
He's
can't
0 for 6.
You and Russell are.
I'm just making I'm making a comparison. You got to let me finish.
Let him finish. Let him
You gotta
finish.
let me finish. He's 0 for 6. Gronk
Put up your
was
hood,
3
Tristan.
for 3. There's a comparison. Big players, the best players, the GOATs, they step up when they have to. And overall, like I said, Kelsey's a better receiver. He's better with control. He is better at running the ball. He is better after the catch. I don't know that he's a better blocker. Gronkowski's going to really block. Kelsey's just a better receiver than
And a
he is a
big
blocker.
dude too.
And he is a big dude. But Gronk would go up and make that play, and Kelsey hasn't had that chance to. He wasn't called on in the Super Bowl. It was all the Tyreek Hill show. But you've got to go with overall longevity. Can Kelsey catch him? Yeah, but you said right now, if I had to make that choice, and that choice is if I'm throwing the ball deep in the end zone and I've got somebody that's got to go make a play, I don't want Kittle there and I don't want Kelsey there. I want somebody that's going to do what it takes to get the ball. But you shot me with a BB gun and I'm holding 9mm, so you're dead.
But thank you for that, Tristan. We appreciate you, buddy. Hey, I'm going to switch gears here real quick. Dude, we got 3 TikToks banned, out, booted since last Thursday. And I don't understand, because those 3 were, all I did was repost. But I think it might have been the comments that I left or anything. I don't understand it, because it wasn't, it was about one of them. The CDC quietly confirms at least 118,000 children and young adults have died suddenly in the U.S. since the rollout of the COVID vaccine.
And that number is extremely low, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and it was reposted. All I put on there was learn to think for yourself. This is only the beginning.
Sure, I agree with you. But remember, sadly, TikTok in itself is just a fucking propagandist grooming machine. I mean,
Ran by the Chinese Communist government.
I'm sitting here tonight and listening to baby's mama fucking bitch moaning, groan at my 7-year-old for what he's watching on TikTok. Even when she puts parental controls on there, there's still shit popping up about this, that, and the other. And I laugh about it because it's just it's funny, but it's not funny. It really isn't. It's really not funny when you think about it. But I mean, you want to censor things like, I mean, take for instance our live TikTok with words that were said. I mean, I don't give 2 shits or a fuck less. But you want to censor us over that shit, but yet you're still pushing this other machine.
Now there's a big push.
Sense.
There's a big push because of all this. It's gone really political that they're talking about getting rid of TikTok altogether by the end of the
election
year.
Time.
By the end of the year,
Because it's election.
And going into that, what was the guy's name? The FXT guy?
I don't know.
Oh, that FXT.
Sam Brinkman fraud.
Yeah, he gave the Democrats $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of freaking. Do y'all know anything about it? I just saw it today.
That's what's recorded.
Yeah,
that is just what's recorded. I mean, he is willing, quote unquote, willing to testify remotely because he doesn't want to come to the U.S. for fear of paparazzi and this, that, and the other.
He got arrested yesterday, by the way.
Yeah,
he's on the way in.
Yeah. So, I mean, but why would you not want to come to the continental United States and plead your case? I mean, what are you afraid of? I mean, he knows that he's in the wrong. There's a shit ton of athletes and celebrities, this, that, and the other that are in the wrong because they bought into his bullshit. And I mean, speaking of, so-called goats, Tom Brady's one of them. And it's,
Well, it just
I don't
seems like
know.
everything's just unraveling now. Because even
Well,
the
and
press secretary, I call her the Muppet, even the press secretary can't even speak a complete sentence.
that's because she's a
Uh,
fucking idiot.
well, I agree with that.
But I mean, going back to Tom Brady, I mean, I don't think him and Giselle split for some sort of differences. I think they split because there was some shit coming down and something happened, and she's like, I don't want to be no part of this. And I mean, because
Ah,
they tend to lose a lot of fucking money, a lot, upwards of some $500 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here thinking, who has that much fucking money? But there's quite a few people, I guess,
Yeah, there was something they
like
put
Donnie.
down that they said that Giselle and Tom might have known what was coming, and some kind of and a divorce would have helped do something for them financially.
Yeah, it splits their assets up.
yeah, he's not going to, if it gets caught, he's not going to lose everything.
Yeah, so
Like,
that,
like,
I mean,
like the head coach at UT. You
that's just hearsay, but that's supposedly what happened.
like that, right, J Lev?
So,
yeah.
so
That's
to
fucked up.
what Coach was saying about he's had a couple of TikToks or I'm sorry, Jay Lev, you had a couple of TikToks taken down, and then on our Whiskey and Wisdom on TikTok, we've had a couple of things taken down. This week, we and me and you, Jay Lev, were texting back on our thread about about what we already know. So Elon Musk buys Twitter,
Mhm.
and the onion just keeps getting peeled
Yeah.
back and peeled back and peeled back. We already knew that the censorship and the First Amendment with these big tech companies, it doesn't apply anymore. And it
I
just
found
keeps
out some.
it keeps
I'm
coming
sorry.
out every day. No, you're good. It keeps coming out every day
Mhm.
that the election was basically rigged by big tech. And there are so many things coming out. Of course, you're not going to see it on the mainstream media because they're
No, you
continuing to with the narrative. But
Well, and then keep in mind that the number two donor, the second in line donor for the biggest amount given to the Democratic Party behind Soros was who? The cat they just busted in the
Yeah.
Bahamas.
yeah,
So
You know,
so what's and I know Donnie knows what I'm talking about, but I don't know if you two might just a little bit. But if you've read anything about the Twitter files that have been coming out, it's
Mhm.
fucking crazy.
mm-hmm.
It is.
Mhm.
It's
well, and the
But
fact of the matter is,
we've been saying it for how long?
well, the fact the funny thing is that the initial post, and back when Twitter, before Elon, I had some 2,300 followers or some shit, and I don't even know how the fuck I got that. But I saved President Trump's last two posts on Twitter, the ones that are now resurfacing. I saved those last two posts on Twitter, and I said this is, like Donnie uses the word ransom. I mean, and I said this is going to be some sort of ransom type money, in a sense, to somebody. But then my Twitter account gets taken down. I didn't save them where I should have, like a dumbass. But with those resurfacing, but with them saying that he was trying to do this, and he was telling them to go and incite this and do this and do that, and I never bought it from the beginning.
No,
I mean,
it
granted,
wasn't.
Trump can be a fucking numbnut. Let's be honest.
Sure.
But I mean, when you get to the grassroots of things, in my lifetime, and probably those here, even Tristan, was the best president in regards to our lifetime so far. I mean, I'm not saying that everything was peachy king, and I'm not saying that everything was, rose-colored glasses kind of shit. But we were a hell of a lot better off 2.5 years ago than we are now.
Sure. Well, just from a policy standpoint, and the other thing about the Twitter thing with them uncovering a lot of this stuff, they also came out, and basically 97% of the people that were blocked and censored were
Mhm.
conservative or Republican, and it just keeps coming and keep coming. Well, we already knew this. I mean,
Right.
look
And
what
I
they
saw
look what they did with Parler. Look what they're doing now. They're trying to
exactly.
block Twitter on the
Yeah.
App Store for Apple.
Well, and
It just
I had
keeps
saw a
going.
Well,
story.
that's a
I've
little different. Actually, Elon met with the Apple CEO, and he said, "Yeah, there's no truth to that. It was just an unsubstantiated rumor." He was like, "I have no plans to block you. I don't want to get
Good.
into that fight." He
well,
basically said, "Listen,
just
I don't,
remember that
I don't want to, I don't want to fight that fight."
and I agree with that, but just remember that the CEO of Apple is easily controlled by those who control Apple, and those that control
Sure,
Apple
but
are the CCP and whatnot.
the big thing about the Twitter files it's showing is basically what we've been thinking. People that have their eyes open have been thinking for a long time that yes, this was rigged.
Right.
Them removing Trump was not justified, and it was done through a controlled manner so
Hold
that
on.
they
Let's
could generate.
I think we need to redefine what we're saying about rigged, because like I
Okay,
think
so when I say rigged, I mean it was a controlled media bias
that's
to
better. I like
disparage
Yes.
and hide
that's
information because they literally said, okay, we're going to take the Biden laptop. Hunter Biden laptop's going to be gone. It'll be gone. It'll never happen. We'll never see
It's
light
not
of day.
news.
Speaking of,
No,
you
it's
hear
false
about
news.
Sean
It's not
Hannity?
news.
Right. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's not
misinformation. Whatever they say is misinformation.
exactly.
It's
And then they
misinformation.
did it again with the COVID stuff,
Mhm.
and that a lot of this stuff is coming out that Fauci was directly involved with gain of function research, and he was also part of the conspiracy to remove these different people. He specifically had people in his office that communicated with Twitter and Facebook and other platforms to have them removed. The Twitter files will also showed, how it went down, like the chain of command, like Biden administration before he was elected, DOJ, DDS, FBI, CIA, all those groups communicated with him. The big thing that you're going to find next is, and there's still so much more to go. Matt Tabby
Mhm.
said that he has cases and cases of files to go through. But Elon posted yesterday, follow the white rabbit. If you're not familiar
Yep.
with that saying, that
The
came from the
Matrix.
Matrix.
Yep.
And it started the journey down for Neo to understand that control was never really his and freedom was never really his. He was literally
Well, remember, it actually
a
started with
battery.
Jefferson Airplane.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this specifically
Back in the
said,
60s.
yeah, this specifically pointed out to the same white rabbit.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it with all of the Twitter files. I look at it every day that it pops up. There's now 5 journalists. They originally started with 2, Sarah Weiss and Matt Tabby, and they've added 3 more because they cannot go through the data and the stuff fast enough.
Right.
It got delayed. Real quick, it got
Go
delayed
ahead.
a few days because they found an old mole that had somehow left the FBI, and he had some ties with the Steele dossier and the disappearing files off of the server from the Clinton campaign. He had become a lawyer at Twitter somehow, and he was responsible
Mhm.
for turning over this information, or saying he wasn't responsible for it. He was overseeing the transfer of information, and he was deleting or keeping files away from Tabby and Weiss. Whenever they saw his name, they reached out to Elon and said, "Hey, is this the same guy?" And he said, "Oh, I didn't see that. Hang on a minute. Let me take care of that." Fired him, went into his office, raided his office, kicked him out, didn't let him take anything out of it. And yeah, he was definitely sending them partial files. So he, under command of MK Ultra or whoever you want to say was his handlers were, like he was definitely giving them false information or partial information. But it all leads back to the fact that Dorsey knew about this years ago
Sure, he did.
Right.
and
He was in
lied
on it.
lied under oath, and then tried to steer Elon away from it. And if you look at the text message between Elon and Dorsey, the day before he put the offer in on Twitter, Dorsey reached out to him and said, "Hey, I think there's a better way we can do this. We can make it up a platform source. go in this together. We can find a new way. And Elon
Trying to bait
asked him, he asked him something, and then Elon said, I'll call you in 5 minutes. The next day he made his offer. So Elon heard something in that conversation that led him to believe Dorsey knew. And that was the beginning of the collapse. So yeah, I mean, there's still a lot more to go. It's something that I look at daily. And I hope people start opening their eyes. I mean, that's all we can do is hope, eyes are open.
Exactly.
I think one of the cooler thing, I don't know if cool is the right word to say, but like if you've been keeping up with it on Twitter, how they're doing it is each reporter is releasing like a Twitter Files Part 1, and then it's a thread. It's a different thread of tweets, and you just read them or whatever. Well, some of the different threads have screenshots of different things, and one of the more fascinating things that I saw was the back end of Twitter and how they can put like these tags on certain accounts.
And they said they were never doing it, by the way.
But I think what was cool is like you literally saw the back end of Twitter software, and you could see like how they were doing it and how they were tagging it. I thought that was just nuts.
No,
so there are bots, right?
Oh no, there's definitely bots. They had bots. He has worked diligently to get rid of the bots. That's
what I'm reading right now. Just watching it while you're talking.
Yeah, there's 3 things that he's going after right now. One is the release of all files that are pertaining to corruption. And when I say corruption, you could get a blue check mark by paying somebody $25,000, and they would give you a blue check mark. You just needed to know the right person and portray yourself in the right form of light. Hey, I'm a blue check mark. I'll portray the left in a positive way and the right in a negative way. And here's $25,000, give me a blue check mark. And they did. So anybody could be a verified journalist or verified person with the right amount of money. The second thing he's going after is destruction and portraying of any bots. They are good for pumping numbers and for building the algorithms up so that these different people can trend and not trend. And then the third thing he's doing is something that's going on real time. He's disabling networks that are in Twitter that have influence on things like the child trafficking network, the doxing network. He got doxed yesterday. It came out on some back end channels that there was an incident in let me pull it up. Incident in LA, that he was in LA because he was in San Francisco a few days before for a Chappelle thing, and he was in LA, and a car carrying one of his family members was followed and blocked, and then somebody jumped on the hood, and they doxed his car and then sent it out to a network to take it down. He's going to start carrying a very, very large entourage of security. I know a security firm that's already been contacted by them, and they're not going to be seen. They're going to be bad boys. Like they are former,
like some Blackwater shit.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you're not going to see them. You're not going to know them, and they're going to come out of nowhere and take you out. Like you're not going to have a chance on it. You're not going to see it. But he got doxed, and they found his car, and they ran it through traffic cams, and they literally found where he was at and went and blocked it. But he wasn't in the car. I think his son was, or somebody like that was. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time. I hate it for him because he's put a big target on his head right now. And
He's
people
got
either
some
love
big
him or they hate
balls.
him. He does.
Well, I
He
have
does.
a close personal friend that it's funny. We were just speaking this evening that he was talking about Elon and saying he said, man, the dude's just fucking out there, but he's so brilliant that he's stupid. And I said, yeah, I get that. I understand that. I said, but he was telling me about, the underground tunnels that he's building, and that everyone thinks that he's doing this, that, and the other with a particular platform, but he's not. And all the that he's fucking smart as shit. I know that in regards to the way that he developed the real estate surrounding the Tesla plant. It's insane. It's definitely something that we'd have to get into off camera. But holy shit, I was just mind blown. And I was driving to the house tonight, and he was telling me all this. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I said, I know it's a stretch, but this dude's kind of fucking batty as shit anyway. What would it get to get him on the show?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's that deep.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, he's definitely and it's the the autism spectrum on it where he doesn't
exactly.
comprehend
And that's
the danger.
exactly what he said. That's exactly.
Yeah, he
what
doesn't
said.
understand he doesn't comprehend the danger that he's put himself in. Luckily, he's got some good people around him, and he made a joke. Listen, I'm not going to commit suicide anytime soon. Like, I have no plans to commit suicide. They don't care. Like,
Yeah.
they don't care if you're committing suicide. They'll find some other way to do it and
Yeah,
blame
they'll
it on.
suicide you for you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they'll blame it on something else.
You'll
So
get Epstein.
Mhm.
I don't think so. I think he's pretty smart, and he's putting his money in the right places. And
The fact that the thing is, he's not as high profile yet as Epstein.
he doesn't have enough dirt yet as Epstein.
Right.
He's just high profile. He just doesn't have
Well,
enough
he's
dirt
getting more
yet.
and more every day as they uncover this stuff.
Well, that's true. This is true.
It's getting deep.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But like Donnie said, I mean, everything that those with an operable frontal lobe knew was going on, a few years ago, it's all coming to light now. From the darkness comes the light, and that's what's going to happen. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But I posed it to, I proposed it to him. I said, I'm just throwing this out there. I said, but don't think. And he was in complete denial. And I mean, a lot of folks might be, but I tend to think outside of that. I'm like, don't think that this didn't happen for a reason. Don't think that everything that's going on didn't happen for a reason. There's no such thing as coincidence. I said, don't think that him and Trump aren't playing on the same chessboard. So we'll see what happens. And he's like, no, he fucking hates Trump. I said, yeah, so does Trump. Trump fucking hates Elon. Remember him saying that? So it kind of goes both ways. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, this is a sticky subject, but I've seen it 2 or 3 times, and it's
Kim
just I
Kim
identify
Kardashian's white see-through bathing suit. Is that what we're talking about?
who?
Kim Kardashian's
know.
winter attire.
No,
Sorry,
hard pass.
I just popped
No,
up.
that's all right. I mean, if ugh.
Hard pass.
Real hard pass. So I've seen this thing, and I've seen really Shapiro give his, just shut people down on it. But I heard this girl say anybody can get pregnant.
Oh, this was on the.
You're talking about the
on
congressional
Shapiro, yeah.
thing?
Anybody can get pregnant. And so the guy said, well, so you're saying a man can get pregnant?
Are you talking about Shapiro or Walsh?
No.
It
It
was Matt Walsh.
was Matt Walsh. Yeah, Walsh.
Well, there was Charlie Kirk also.
And
Charlie
Charlie
Kirk
Kirk,
did the
yeah.
same thing.
Same thing.
So, and that's why I posted that TikTok of Mr. Rogers in his neighborhood singing his song, saying only boys can be daddies
Yeah.
and only
Yeah.
girls can be mommies,
Well,
because you're special. But and then this other girl, and I'm gonna try to be as respectful as I can.
if she identifies as
She said, well, why are you calling him? Why are you labeling him?
well, she said pregnant persons.
Pregnant persons. Okay. Yeah. And so then how old are you? 25. Well, then you can identify yourself as 60. No, I can't, because I'm 25. But you can identify yourself as, so now you can, I don't get it You know, you can identify yourself as anything. And I showed you that that clip of that comedian
Yep.
saying, you know, I'm taking my daughter to the fifth grade, and she's scared to death because there's a lion in the room. A kid identifies himself as a lion because one day he came downstairs and said, I'm a lion. And mommy and daddy since then said, okay, you're a lion. And so now he's in the back acting like a fucking lion.
Well, that's where Daddy just should have said,
Like
"Boom, I shot you in the fucking head. I got you the trophy now. You're no longer
Well,
a
he
lion."
shot him up again. I mean, it's just amazing to me how far this is going.
It is.
And there's teachers in classrooms that are okay.
Sure. You can identify as a cat. They're putting litter boxes in
A
classrooms.
litter box in the freaking toilet.
So I can go to our boss Russell and say I identify myself
as a cat.
as a millionaire. Give me my money.
Right.
If not, I sue you
Maybe.
for that money. Right?
I don't know if that works the same way. Well, you're not white, so it won't.
Well,
work.
true facts. That's racism, and I love to racism. I love that damn
You
show.
know, here's the thing. Like, if Donnie tells me next week, hey, I decided that I'm a woman, I'm going to go by Donna. Okay. All right. And I'm just using Donnie's example because Donna was a little bit easier to say.
And Donnie was late,
Sure, and
so
it's
it's
my
okay.
mom.
And Donnie was late, so
And it's my mom.
And he eats pizza on the podcast. So,
I'm not tonight.
Yeah, what's
I know
going
you're
on?
not.
Gosh almighty, Donnie.
but
You on a diet?
the thing is, if you're a man and you want to put on a dress and you want to walk around as a woman, I don't care. Whatever you want to do, it's your life. It's a free country. Vice versa, if you're a woman and you want to dress up and get your hair cut and wear underwear with dick holes in them, that's cool too. I don't care. But don't force me to see something that is obvious to me that you're a woman and this guy in the dress is a man. Don't come at me. I'll be respectful to you. If you say I want to be called this, I'll call you that. Whatever you want to be. Your name's Donna. Great. You're Donna. Cool. But don't expect me to disregard the obvious. And that's what's happened in this country that's so bad is people have literally kowtowed to these people, and we've fallen so far as a society that you have to.
Well, why does that teacher in the classroom have to identify that kid as a lion?
Because she'll get fucking fired.
I know, but what if my kid wants to go and pray and preach about God, or stand
can't
up
do
and
that.
say the Pledge of Allegiance or whatever? Why is it okay to
Well, you
do
can't do that
one
'cause
but not
that's
the other?
That's blasphemous, and it's to the point that we are merely. I don't say we as in those on the show, but folks are merely catering to those seeking said attention. Period. When they should be, beating the fuck out of that goddamn kid, and and saying, "Look,
The
hey,
parents.
dumbass."
I go for the parents first.
Well, I mean, first I would beat the shit out of the kid and then send the kid home with bruises. And then when the mom and dad come up to the school, beat the shit out of them too, because they're just as fucking stupid.
I'm not
sorry,
disagreeing at all with any of that. But it amazes me. We're gonna cower to and let that happen. Yet you can't bring up God, you can't bring up government, and you can't raise the flag. But we've got to identify. And here's another thing.
can,
It's
just not
okay.
here.
It's okay, Donnie. If you want to call yourself Donna, and be, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I mean, I don't mind.
Love you,
my
buddy.
mom.
Sorry.
You can. That's my mom. You can keep that name out of your mouth.
Okay,
We
you're
didn't
right.
know that.
I'll
I didn't.
call you
I'm just messing
Dana.
with you.
We'll call you Dana.
Dana.
But
You keep my mom's name out your mouth.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good. But why go to the extra mile saying that now you can't get pregnant? I cannot get pregnant.
No, me either.
I can't.
Here's what they're trying to accomplish with that. When they say that a man can get pregnant, it's a female born female, has those chromosomes of a female, that is identifying herself as a man, therefore she can get pregnant. That is still technically a female. You want to identify yourself, that's fine. But what Walsh should have said is, can a biological male become pregnant? It's a simple question that they cannot answer. They will say a man can get pregnant. They will change the terminology on you. Now, their new thing is to change male to become a gender instead of a sexual denotation.
No way.
Oh no, they're going for male and female now. So they're trying to say that they're genders and not whatever. The problem is they're trying to be technical in words. You know, can you technically change a word from a meaning of a word? And I mean, we've done it throughout history. We've technically changed the meaning of vaccine. We've technically changed the word of pandemic. I mean, so it's a matter of changing a definition to fit your narrative. And you know, that's basically what they're doing. You know, it doesn't fit the narrative, therefore we change the definition to fit the narrative. Can a female become pregnant? Of course. Do all females have the ability to become pregnant? Of course not. Some don't. Can all men impregnate women? No. I mean, there's certain deficiencies or whatever, but a biological man cannot at this time become impregnated because he doesn't have a uterus. He doesn't have ovaries. He doesn't have
The other thing that
the
I heard
tools.
is now these kids that are raised in that type of environment, kids, they're now starting to give them hormones. And
Of course.
what do you call it when you cut their tits
hormone
off?
blockers.
What do you call it
Vasectomies.
when a girl has?
Double
Mastectomy.
mastectomy.
Yeah, they're
Double
giving them mastectomies and feeding them hormones
Sure.
at a young age.
Or hormone blockers in this case.
I mean, dude, that right there, you can't.
That there is child abuse. That's
Yes.
what that is.
Child
That there-
mutilation
child
is what it is.
It's
Well, that
it's child
too.
abuse, but it also begs the question that, you know, now you have schools overstepping their bounds and saying that if their child comes in and tells them that you're preventing them from becoming a changing genders, that you will step in the DHS and go rectify the situation.
Right. Well,
that
and
is
then,
that's overstepping.
Well, like Donnie is saying, I mean, the school is now taking the place of the parent.
Yeah.
And when I say that with, you know, very loosely, because when we were all kids, we were sent to school, one, to get an education, but two, also because our teachers, our coaches, our everything became our parent in a sense, because our parents entrusted these individuals to make sure that we were okay, to make sure that we learned what we needed to learn, to make sure that we respected who we needed to respect, this, that, and the other. But you've got these motherfuckers now, men and women, that, like Donnie said, are overstepping their bounds. Take, for instance, I think we're probably all on the same lines here. I heard the same story, or somewhat to the same nature. A plastic surgeon, doctor, whatever, in the Dallas Metroplex area was seeing some 40, the number was astronomical to me, but some 40,000 individuals, and performing all these procedures on said individuals, male and female, but now are getting repercussion because these individuals are now waking the fuck up and realizing that this is just a phase and they don't really want to go through with it, but now they're fucked.
Yeah.
But yet this doctor is mega fucking rich, and it's not just one doctor. I
Yeah.
mean, they're all over the United States as well as the world.
Let's do this. Look, we're all about the same age, but I want to ask our millennial vampire.
Except Tristan, because you're
I
like
wanna
the
ask
daddy,
that- well, that's what I
and
wanna
we're all
ask
the,
him, 'cause
we're all the dirty.
He
uncles.
really, and it's okay. We respect his opinions on it, but I just want to hear.
You don't
Do
even
you
know what I'm
think,
gonna say.
Tristan?
What are you
Do
going
you
to say?
think that it's okay for parents to take a 10, 12, 13-year-old girl, give her a mastectomy, give her hormone
boy.
blockers? Hold on. Let's start with the girl. Give them a mastectomy, give them hormone blockers because she identifies herself as a boy, and so the parents are going to do everything. Do you think that's okay?
It doesn't affect me or my daily life, so I don't really give a fuck. It's not my kid. That's my answer.
This fucking guy.
Okay. Oh, dude, that's why we have them.
That's fine.
That's why we have them.
I'm gonna be right back.
Donnie's gonna go throw up or get a pizza. We're not sure. We're not sure what Donnie's gonna do.
No, really, like that, dude. That's really how I live my life with just about everything. It's not my kid. It's not my life. It's not my problem. So I really don't give a fuck.
That's for you, buddy.
I say this.
Have a
I
drink
think
after that.
so.
Well,
Y'all spend
go
a
ahead,
lot-
Tristan. Go ahead.
Y'all spend. I think people of, especially y'all's generation, spend a lot of time, energy, and effort worrying about shit that y'all can't change. Shit that y'all have no control over.
And if we don't put a stop to it,
shit's-
it'll get out of hand.
Shits that's not
Yeah,
gonna.
it's already
shit
out
that,
of hand.
No, listen, shit that like, it's gonna happen whether y'all want it to or not. So like, fuck it.
No, it's not.
I
Let me ask
say
you
this.
this.
But it
no,
is.
let me stop you there. Let me stop you there. If we don't stop,
You've been trying
The
to
reason the
stop it
Supreme-
for the past few years.
all right, but let's look at it this way. The Supreme Court came in earlier this year and threw out the Roe versus Wade. They did it so that they didn't have to identify when a child would become a person. They did it for a specific reason. They all thought it should be a state-based argument and not a federal argument. But what they really did is said, listen, we're not going to fight the fight of when a fetus becomes real and you can kill it. What they did, though, is prevent the places like New York and other places that were letting you have late and after term abortions from
Mhm.
profiting and prospering. I mean, these places were letting you have up to 72 hours with your child out of your womb and then kill it. That's murder. I don't care what you say. Like,
Yep,
that's just murder.
exactly.
Now, they realized that that is a problem that was coming to a head. So they had to stop it. Now, would they have stopped it if people weren't vocal about it? No, they wouldn't have. If we all just said, oh, it doesn't matter, we'd be killing people at fucking 14 weeks because they wouldn't stop there. You give somebody an inch, they take a mile. It's a big saying. It's always been that way. If you're with your spouse and you let her cheat on you, she's gonna do it again. Like, it happens. Like, a leopard doesn't change spots. A zebra doesn't
No.
change stripes. None of that happens. So if
I
you don't want to
believe
speak up
this-
on it, I get it. It's your God-given right. It's your right as an American. I respect that. But to say that us worrying about it and talking about it and trying to change it isn't going to prevent it, that's incorrect. Like,
Yeah,
we've proven
I-
that
I-
over and over and over again.
I agree with Donnie. And before we segue into something else, I mean, as everybody on this show, except for you, Tristan, of course, but everybody on this show is a father. I personally can say that I honestly, at one time, felt the same way as you did. I honestly did. But with the birth of my first, everything changed, and you become a completely different individual, and you no longer live your life for yourself. You live your life for your kids, and I hope.
So you said the key word there, your kids.
But you didn't hear what I just said.
I did.
I at one time felt the same way that you did.
Okay.
The exact same way that you, or I did, but do. I'm sorry. The exact same way that you do with the way that you feel. But once I became a father, and when you do decide to become a father, if you do, I mean, that is entirely up to you and your significant other, whether you decide to have start a family or not. If you do, mad respect and many blessings to you and your family. And if you don't, then so be it. But I'm just saying, at one time, I walked in your shoes, so I know.
Nice. Gentlemen, it's time. Have your laptops ready. Have your phones ready. You're going to have
Oh
to
God.
Google some of these. This is the J Love edition of FMK. We're talking, since it is Christmas time and we build gingerbread houses with our kids, we've got a FMK full of gingers on this one. And this one, for me, now that I look at it, is kind of tough. What do you think, Russ? It's
definitely
a coin flip here.
it's a ball of craziness with all these redheads.
Ah, yes, but I love redheads. So the first one is Jessica Chastain,
Hmm.
Who?
Chastain, Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain.
Yes. The next
She's
one
45 now.
is
I know, right?
Bryce Dallas Howard, Ron Howard's daughter. The Fonz. Bryce Dallas Howard.
No, not the Fonz. That was
No.
Richie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Richie.
Sorry.
And
Opie.
Richie Cunningham.
Opie
Opie Taylor.
Yeah, baby.
You have
and-
no idea what we're talking about, do you, Tristan?
No. He's and then the last one,
She's the one that played in Jurassic World.
and
Yeah.
the next one is Christina Hendricks.
Bad
Off
Santa
Mad
too.
Men. That too. But Mad Men is where I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Oh,
I
you left
forgot about
my
that.
fridge open, bud.
Oh,
Okay.
she's in.
So you're
Good
gonna go
Girls.
She's what?
Are y'all
She's in the show Good Girls. I am.
are y'all on it? Are y'all on it?
Yeah, I got it.
Tristan
J Love,
first.
since this is your
Yes.
FMK, you
Uh-huh.
go first, my man.
Okay. God, after I added that third one, I was like, God dang it. What
Whatever
the
you
fuck
say,
am I
you're not going to
thinking?
be wrong. I'm going to say this right now as a redhead
Well,
lover.
For sure. Chastain, I'm marrying. I think. I mean, because like Donnie said, at 45, she still
Oh
is
my God,
blazing.
yes.
God, can I just
No, you can't.
have fuck.
Nope.
Okay. I'm fucking Christina Hendricks, and I'm killing Bryce Dallas Howard. Sorry,
Okay.
Richie.
I'm going to go next. We're almost the same here. I'm going to kill Bryce Howard. I want to meet her dad first, but she's done. I'm going to
I
go.
want to punch her dad in his fucking taint.
I'm going to go one time, one night, about 5 sessions, one night. Jessica Chastain, just tie her up and do what I want with her.
Well, she's
But-
got that little cum dumpster right on her chin.
Oh.
So,
But the tits on Christina Hendricks,
yep.
that's what I would fall asleep on every night. I'm marrying Christina, hitting Jessica one time, and Bryce, you got to go bye-bye, baby. What do you think, Tristan?
I'm actually the exact same thing as you. I love Christina in fucking the show Good Girls. Yeah, I'm marrying
Mhm.
her. But yeah, and then I'm gonna kill Bryce, and then I'll marry the other one. Or fuck the other one. I can't remember what I said.
Jessica Chastain one time, yeah.
Yeah.
Good Lord, look at that motherfucker.
You're gonna overload her cum dumpster.
Oh, sorry.
on her chin.
Donnie, what you got, Donnie? Look at the
I mean,
tits on
The problem,
Christina. Holy shit.
I get it.
You
But
think
the
she got
problem is,
nude
like,
somewhere?
I don't know.
She does. There's
The problem
nudes
with
from-
her is like if you look her dressed down, it is not good.
Dude, that's why
Not
you
good at all.
that's why you can turn off the lights. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, man,
got
but I
ways
can't
around
do that. Like I gotta know. I gotta know what you look like without makeup. I gotta know what you look like waking up in the morning.
Oh my
because
God. Can you just
So,
pick 3, please?
She's dead. She's dead.
Christina's dead?
Chastain
Wow.
is the one nighter, and I'm take it back. Bryce Dallas Howard's the one nighter, just because she was a Raptor girl.
Dude, I'm
And I
losing
got a
all
Raptor.
kinds of respect for Donnie right
Mhm.
now. I really.
But
Okay.
Chastain's more natural to me. It's the
Donnie, are
natural
you
beauty.
sober right now?
No, of course not.
Oh,
Why would it be that?
okay.
Why would I ever do that?
You sound
If
sober
you have an
because.
option. If you
you
have an
sound-
option.
All right, Russell, let's go, baby.
Well, we almost had a consensus pick here. Bryce Dallas Howard, you're done. You're dead. Jessica Chastain, very pretty, looks like a classy girl. we're gonna fuck, then I'm done. And I'm with Christina Hendricks. I'm gonna go with the words of Billy Bob Thornton. I'm not trying to be all sentimental and shit, but she's got some big tits, and that's no shit. I'm marrying her. If you haven't
Y'all know I
seen
like
Bad
that.
Santa 2, Bad Santa 2, that is a awesome fucking movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Hilarious.
Oh,
That's
in
it.
That's photoshopped.
Yeah.
Those are photos.
That's what I say. You gotta go look at the non
That's what I'm trying to do.
makeup pictures.
Gotta go to
They're not-
Pornhub.
Oh yeah, dude, I pay for that too. Well, my wife does. Anyway,
And
what was I going to ask?
And Dan.
I don't know. You went blank.
I did go. Well, I've got boobs in front of me, so
Yeah, he does.
let me ask you guys, since we're on it, boobs or butt?
Boobs.
Boobs or butt? What
Boobs.
you or don't tell me both and blah blah blah. Just
I just
boobs or
did
butt?
both.
What
Boobs.
I already
what
said
are you,
boobs.
Tristan?
Boobs.
Boobs, Donnie,
Boobs.
J Lo.
I've always been a big tit dude. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, I'm just that big fat ass in my face so I can just, take a bite of that cake and then thank the baker.
Russell.
So
Legs and ass.
Me too. I'm an ass guy. Totally ass guy. I mean, if I can keep my face between the cheeks, I will. All night long.
There's only
As
so
long as I
much you
could.
can do with boobs. I mean, let's be honest. There's only so
no,
much
there's a
can
lot
do
you
with
could
them.
do with boobs.
There is
Yeah,
a
there's a lot
lot,
you
but
can
there's, it
What's the
just,
first thing a guy looks at?
Huh?
What's
Are
What'd
the
we
you
first
say?
being
thing a guy
honest
looks at?
here?
Are we
What's the
being
first
honest?
thing a guy looks at? Yeah.
Oh, camel
Eyes.
toe. What? You said be honest.
What is the first? Honestly, what is,
I look at the moose knuckle. Do you have one or not?
Oh, okay.
Let's
Well,
see.
if you're looking at a moose knuckle, you're looking at a fucking dude.
unless
Camel
the girl
toe,
is
chick.
like,
Moose knuckle, dude.
unless a woman is like obesely fat, what is the first thing you're really looking at when you're looking at a woman?
Eyes. I mean, if
That's
we're being
exactly
honest, that's
right.
what I look at.
You're looking
That's
at
what I
her
look
face.
at first.
You're looking at her face.
I mean, I'm lips before eyes. If we're gonna go to the face, I'm lips before eyes, but then eyes, yes, 100%.
Donnie posed the question, what is it that you look at first? So I said, if we're speaking honestly, personally, it's eyes.
You're right.
And then
I'm
from
lips.
there I go. And then
I'm-
from there I
yeah.
go to her tits.
Yeah, I'm honest too. I'll be honest. I'm the lips guy. I'm the lips.
Yeah, it's
Eyes.
yes.
Tristan, what about you?
What was the question? I'm not paying attention.
The first thing you look
Imagine
at when
that.
you see a woman.
Hair.
I like it. Okay. No, I'm with you.
Like on
No, I'm with
like
you,
on
dude.
her
I would-
face.
I'm with you.
Hair's
I'm with you.
important.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Hair's important.
I'm with you.
I like long
Donnie?
hair.
Oh, it's eyes.
Hair is important,
That's by far
especially if you're a cancer patient. So
Dun-dun-dun.
Here we go.
Here comes the Spotify band.
No, you can't do that. Look at this chick, dude.
Oh, I know. So I know that there are women that listen to the show and they kind of want to hear what
like
guys
all
say
of one.
behind the scenes. And
All right, you want to hear something? Here we go, ladies. Here we go for your girls that are listening.
Oh, here we go.
Here, no, I'm serious about this. I love it, and if my wife were here, she would agree, and she doesn't mind. I don't mind. 'Cause I'm an ass
Feature
guy, so I'm
rounds.
going straight to the ass. Right?
Okay.
It's a complete turn on. Dimples and stretch marks. I don't mind at all. I'm all about it. I love it. If you got a little muffin top, I'm fine with that too, because I will play with that. That is a real woman that has been through real life, and if she wants a piece of your ass, I want a piece of hers. I am fucking all about that shit.
True story.
Me,
True
huh?
story. True story. I mean, I agree. I mean, if a woman, if a woman is willing to, bear all, if you will, I mean, especially like you said, if she has stretch marks and this, that, and the other, I mean, so she's popped out a kid, so she at least puts out once, maybe twice, who knows? And you might be the third.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, and I don't think Lenny would mind me saying this. I fucking love her fucking C-section scar. I don't mind that at all. I mean,
Great, we just put that out here on fucking blast. Great, now we're fucked.
are we? Why?
I'm just.
I mean, I want women to fucking feel proud and happy about
Sure.
who they are, and I really am. I fucking love it, dude, all the time. I'm fine with it. These little skinny bitches that fucking all tight and they no, dude,
Agree
just
with
be
you.
you. I mean, work out, I love it, but that's who I am. You want to be honest? That's who I am. Who's next?
No,
'Cause
and I get that too. I mean, I'm in total agreement with you in regards to the little skinny girls. I mean, that I sit there and I look and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'd hurt you, and I don't. But whatever. And so bigger the cushion, the better the pushing. So
Donnie, what about you, bud?
They don't bother me. They don't affect me. I mean, it's just is what it is. So
Tristan.
I don't look at that.
Go first, Russell, because I have to send a photo to you. To
Okay.
he has to
the-
send it.
So
He has to send a text to his mom.
I got you.
No,
So
it-
for
no,
me,
it's going-
I'm
it's
the
going
I'm
to
the
you, J-Love.
I'm the same way as you guys. And none of us here are sitting around with perfect 6-pack abs and giant arms and a chiseled chest. But
Oh no,
I
man!
think
But
I've seen
But-
seen you I've seen you and Donnie naked. So
I know.
what the?
But a pretty woman that's a little thick, as I've gotten old, when I was younger, I always wanted the girl with the 6-pack abs and the squat booty, right? And as I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate the real female form. And the real female form, little stretch marks, little C-section scar, a little. I'm great with it. I think it's sexy, especially when
Why?
they.
why are you describing Rick's wife?
Very good, very good.
That one threw me off guard.
Oh, wow.
But no, I think even a woman like Rick was saying with a little bit of a muffin top or whatever, work it, baby. If you're confident and you like it, I don't want you looking like fucking.
That's
Lizzo.
the thing. That's the thing, though.
But-
Be confident with it. Own it.
Uh-huh.
Be that, and that makes it fucking sexy, man.
For
But
me,
then-
the biggest
but-
thing is a face. Honestly, a pretty face
Agreed.
to me is, unless you look like
Agreed.
Lizzo, you know.
But then keep in mind that I mean, there's a difference between being confident and then you're just like over the top fucking cray. I mean, if you come out the bedroom looking like Danny DeVito is the Penguin and fucking Batman, then I'm sorry, but we ain't fucking doing it, and it ain't happening. So.
Well, let's be honest. There's certain women that should walk around in booty shorts and a mid-dress shirt on. If you got a fucking
True.
muffin top hanging over, you shouldn't wear it. But if you have a
Exactly.
muffin top and you
Unless you're in Arkansas.
right, but if you got a muffin top and you
Oh.
dress appropriately, you can make that work for you. But don't walk around. You see so many women walking around. Like I don't walk around in a fucking half cut off T-shirt because I got a fucking beer belly.
Okay, so let's pose this question. I mean, I think everyone on the show has probably seen Shallow Hal, right? With Jack
Yes.
Black and Gwyneth Paltrow. Okay,
Mhm.
you want Gwyneth Paltrow before or Gwyneth Paltrow after?
Well, obviously before.
Isn't she real skinny, though?
It's kind of a double-edged sword when you think about it.
Sure.
You know, it's like what's that girl's name on Charlie's Angels? The one with the big face, the big smile.
Farrah Fawcett.
No, on the new Charlie's Angels. Not
Oh, you
not
just
not the
aged
Asian.
yourself.
The new one. Not the
Oh,
Asian.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah,
Cameron Diaz.
man, she's never done it for me. She's too skinny.
Too skinny. Jennifer Aniston doesn't do it for me. Just doesn't do it.
Well, she doesn't do it for me because I think she's just batshit crazy. How can a chick that fucking sexy not be?
But I'll
married
tell you
to her?
this: what's the girl that just
And
had
she
the,
stinks from personal
the
experience.
the
just that
girl
she-
that just did the halftime show at the Lions game at Thanksgiving, BB Rexa.
Yeah.
And everybody was
Who the
making
fuck is
fun of
that?
her. I'm in. Hey, I'm in.
Who the
I
fuck
think
is that?
I think she's sexy. Pretty face. I'm all day. I'm with it.
Who's
I
who?
like it.
What's her name?
BB Rexa.
Dude, I never knew Alyssa Milano was this fucking stupid.
She does so.
Gosh almighty.
Man,
She's
we
gonna
ain't talking
trade
about
in
her.
her trade in her fucking
dumb dumb.
Tesla for a Volkswagen.
She used to be
She-
so
she
hot,
don't
though.
understand.
Jesus.
She's fucking stupid.
Are you looking it up, J Love?
No,
He is.
who am I looking at? BB Rexa?
BB
I thought you were
Rexa.
wanting me to look up the fucking spastic mongoloid Alyssa Milano. Fuck her.
No, I'm looking at it right now.
Mm.
I mean, we're
No.
looking for nudes of her, but I can't find any.
Why? Just no.
Mm.
No, I appreciate the female form in all shapes and sizes. I think
Oh
a
shit.
thicker woman can be sexy. I think stretch marks can be sexy. I even think a girl that's super pretty and even has some saggy tits from having a kid can be sexy.
Dude, keep in mind the most beautiful woman ever, Marilyn Monroe, was a size 14.
Right.
But
Dude.
we're talking about a size 14 way back then too. Size 14 then is like a size 1 now.
I would have been so happy back in Caesar's day when all the women were huge. God, that would have been so much fun.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when she was banging fucking JFK and Frank. I just would have loved to have been a fly on the wall. Not to mention, whoever else she fucking banged besides Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller and this, that, and the other. Just fuck. Let me get a whiff of the sheets or something. Fuck.
Well, it kind of bears the question. Like we've even said this on a couple of Fuck, Marry, Kills. We're talking about like we said Adele and then Fat Adele. Which one are you picking?
I'd take Fat Adele.
I'm taking now Adele. Everything I just said, I'm still taking now Adele.
Well, I get that. I get that. But I think with Fat Adele, she would just do more because they're just dirty. Big fucking thick chicks are just dirty. And they're willing to do anything because it's just, they're sitting there and they're like, well, fuck, ain't no one going to fuck me, but this motherfucker's about to fuck me. So I'm going to do fucking anything he wants.
I got a
So,
question.
And here we
Go
go.
ahead. No, I do because
No, I was done.
my wife posed this question to me over the phone. By the way, she's on a trip on a cruise with her kids and her mom. She's coming
Man,
back
good
tomorrow.
for her. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I mean, she went to
That's awesome.
Cozumel and Progresso.
That's why I got invited in the house because she's not here.
I do this in our bedroom. So, I mean, yeah, like she's anyway, she asked me, we were talking on the phone and she asked me, she goes, so, because me and her, we've been married over a year now, almost 2, but we've never been to a strip club. We're going to go to a strip club. And she asked me, she goes, so when you go there, what are you looking for? And we're talking about, are you looking for a white girl? Are you looking for a Mexican? You looking for a black girl? You looking for an Asian?
Right.
What are you looking for? She posed that question. So I want to pose this question to you guys. You go, what would be your ideal race? Let's do that. And I'll start with my wife. She said this. She goes, I'm looking for exotic, probably Indian with a bead, not a feather. Indian girl, something exotic, something like that. And I thought, wow, that's fucking hot, So anyway, who's next? Somebody.
I'll
I
go.
don't look for any of that. It's for me. It's the eyes. It's the face. It's the body. I mean, I don't care about any of that crap. I don't have a preference. Like it's the features.
That was
Tristan?
boring.
I know.
What did you say?
I'm
He
gonna,
goes, that's boring.
I'm gonna open this.
At least he's talking tonight, guys. Come on.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Dude, Chelsea Handler has some nice boobs. Go
Fuck
ahead.
yo, I'll just close this motherfucking app right now. No, I'm just playing. So
He likes big black cock though.
no
Chelsea Handler.
Oof.
So I've never been to a strip club. We'll start there. Yeah, see,
Donnie,
we need to
go.
I knew that was coming from Donnie.
Fred.
Donnie, we need to go.
I'm coming to
Bro.
Carolina.
We
Coming
need
to
to
Carolina.
go. I'll even bring my
Donnie-
wife and we'll all go, Tristan.
Donnie
He already
will-
booked a flight.
Donnie,
Hey,
Don,
I'll
Donnie, we're
call one
only
of me and
7.
Rick's buddies to take you down here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
He knows
God.
owners of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Tristan.
Go ahead, bud.
Me and Donnie are only 7 hours apart. We can make it happen.
It
Anyway,
ain't seven,
Those are
bro.
fucking
I drive
nice.
fast.
That's what I'm saying. He already booked a flight.
nah, probably Mexican if I had to pick one.
That's
What?
fucking racist.
What was it?
Mexican.
You.
I got
He
you.
picked you. He picked you.
Russell.
So, along the lines of what Donnie was saying, but I don't want to be boring according to Tristan. But when I go in a strip club, you walk in there. Of course, you've never been, Tris. So you got the Mexican girl that walks out. She's hot. You got the black girl that walks out. She's hot. You got the white, blonde-headed, blue-eyed girl. You got the fucking brunette with the green eyes. You get the Asian girl. And for me, I can't tell you unless I'm at the strip club, because it's the combination of what does she look like when you're there. For me, I don't care what ethnicity.
Drink another one.
Yeah, I know. I don't care about any of that. It's the face, it's the body. How do you dance?
Shots
Are
fired.
you cool? Yeah, for me, it's just the hottest one. It doesn't matter what race they are. I don't care.
You want to go next, J Love, or you want me?
I'll let you go. I'll go last.
All right, because I am a booty guy, and this might be racist. I'm not sure, but I go in there and I would like a light-skinned black woman to start with, and then it gets darker as the night goes on.
Good fucking night.
I'm being. You want me to be honest? That's it.
Oh, that's true. I mean, hey, blacker the berry, sweeter the juice. So
It's the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, motherfucker. No, you are right. You are
It's
right.
the same way.
That's
you
me,
know.
brother. That's me.
I could say that word, but it evidently
Here we go, Halle Berry nudes. Go ahead. You're up, J Love.
midgets. I look for midgets.
No, dude.
Little people.
No, honestly,
Oh, I know.
I don't know. I really don't think about it. I just and it's been a minute since I've been to a strip club, but I go in and I mean I see what I like and I take what I want, and
Right.
You pay
You know.
for what you want. Yeah.
Right.
Well, sometimes.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
1 minute you're like, ooh, and then a minute later you're like, ooh, and then you're like, oh.
Well, is it and
Yeah.
that you talked about this one and this one and this one and this one. I mean, it's I mean, I equate it to like eating rainbow sherbet. I mean, you get a little taste of everything. So
hmm
yeah, because I was going with the Neapolitan, but y'all threw some other fucking ethnicities in there and fucked it all up. So
What's a Neapolitan? What the hell does that mean?
Well,
Neapolitan, you got chocolate
Three
and
flavors.
vanilla and strawberry.
I got you. Well, hey guys, we're fixing to run out of time. We're almost 2 hours in.
How the hell do we
Well,
run
no,
out of
this is
time?
it's gonna the meeting will stop itself. Is what I'm
Oh.
saying. Yeah.
That's
But
interesting.
any final words? Anything y'all want to
Words of wisdom, all that bullshit.
You want some? I mean, we're going from the strip club to something positive or whatever.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah, you want? Yeah. How about throwing a little wisdom out there for people?
Yeah,
Who wants to go
hey,
first?
Shake it twice. So, yeah, the floor is open. Shit. I don't think anyone has anything.
Here you go. I'll give you one. Do the
I
best
got a
you
lot
can
I
for
could say
people.
about Brittany Griner, but
Yeah, we did a whole podcast on that.
and we were supposed to
Um,
do multiples. What the fuck happened to that?
You guys are not available
I was.
on that. We were supposed to do multiple podcasts on that issue, but we did.
Okay, so if we're going with words of wisdom, I think this would probably pertain to probably the four of us, excluding Tristan, only because he hasn't lived enough. And by that, I leave it with sometimes your worst enemy is your own memory. So just let it go.
That's good.
That's good.
I'm gonna go. No, y'all go ahead. Somebody go. Donnie, you got something? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do the best you can for the people that you love. I was able to spend some time on the road today and surprise my daughter. Showed up in Florida. I hadn't seen her since April.
Congratulations, by the way. That's awesome,
and
bud.
Yeah, very
literally
much
took
so.
a video of it. We got a picture of it. Like I just slid in the booth beside her, and she's like, "What?" And then she's like, "Oh my God, it's you!" And
That's
it was
cool, man.
awesome. And she's like, "So why are you here?" I'm like, "I wanted to see you. Like I'm on vacation. I just want to come see you." And she's like, "But why?" I was like, "You're my daughter." Like she was just so happy that I was there. Like, and I'll see her for the next 3 or 4 days. But she just had her birthday and she's closing on a triplex and building generational
That's
wealth
awesome.
and taking my teachings to advice and stuff that I didn't get taught. So
That's awesome.
I'm just proud of her. So yeah, do those things
Good
for the
for
people
you,
you
man.
love. Like
Good for
Like,
you.
Great dad moment.
Yeah,
very
Russ?
much so.
I literally on Facebook or TikTok, I see these soldier reunions or people coming home from overseas, and every time I see them, I get emotional, I tear up, and
I
to
do
the
too.
point of
I
what
do
Donnie's
too.
saying. We were talking about Mike Leach earlier and how precious life is. Man, just cherish the people around you. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. You never know. You just never know. My cousin, we were talking about the other day that had the stroke, and
How's he doing, by the way?
he got out of the hospital today. I'll send you all the video here
That's
in a
awesome.
minute.
Good.
Awesome.
It's starting to. He is almost walking, but it just an emotional thing. Cherish the people that you love, because you never know.
I hear you. Chris, you got anything for the listeners?
Nah, I'm not gonna. I think Russ said it all.
Yeah, I'm gonna just follow up with Russ real quick. J Love, when we get off the air, stay on, please. I got something to tell you. But with the Mike Leach
sir.
thing, we've got some. I mean, life is short. Life is short. Don't worry about all the BS. Take advantage of every day that you're given, because tomorrow's not promised, man. So live life to the fullest. I want to thank everybody for listening. Like, follow, share it with everybody. Tell everybody who we are, what we're doing, guys. I appreciate you guys being on. Donnie, I know you had a busy weekend. Congrats to everything, but thanks for coming on.
everybody.
And from all of us here, this is Whiskey and Wisdom After Dark. We'll see y'all next week. Adios.